Hey everybody, Dave Nasani here. 5 minutes of Dave's Hammock Wisdom. Today we're talking about, are you ready for the good things that are coming your way? This is the day before I'm going to meet with 49 national producers. There's a thing called fear of failure and there's a thing called fear of success. Is that incredible that somebody would actually be afraid of success? Let's think about some of the reasons that somebody would be afraid of success, right? Isn't that what we're all wishing for? That we succeed, either our finances or our health or our marriage or whatever it is. And yet there are people who are afraid to succeed. What is that all about? As if there wasn't enough things in the world to be afraid of. We got to be afraid of good things. We got to be afraid of having our dreams come true and our wishes become reality. What is that all about? Well, I've thought about this a lot because I would be the last person to think that I would be afraid of success. But I was feeling it for a while. I've been on this 5-year journey. It's actually a 12-year journey of not knowing exactly where God was leading me in my destiny, because we all have a destiny. I remember seeing movies like Dave. Remember, that's the one where this guy, Kevin, what's his name, was a temp agency, and he just happened to look like the President of the United States, and the President had a stroke, and someone saw him and made him impersonate the President, and he did all these great things because the original president was a scoundrel. And I remember seeing that movie for the first time and saying, I feel like I was born for great things. I don't know exactly what. And then there were other movies with that similar theme. And here I am. It looks like I'm going down that road. It looks like I am becoming a celebrity. I am becoming someone that people recognize. I am doing great things for a class of people, caregivers, because I am one. And 30% of them are dying. I want to help them stay alive. 60% of them are getting sicker than their loved ones, eventually needing a caregiver of their own. I want to keep them out of the hospital. And it looks like it's working. My message is getting out there. I've been on 24 stations all across the country, and now I have an opportunity to share my message nationally. I have a good friend who was happily married. She had a great career as a model, and her husband had something happen to him, and he became an infant trapped in a big person body. And he needed his diaper changed, and he needed, to suck on a bottle. He needed to play with his little monkey toy, and he needed to watch cartoons. And I don't know how many years this went on for. And it was a hard job, as you can imagine, having your husband turn into an infant. And then he eventually died very recently. But that cancer, she became one of those statistics. She developed a tumor in her brain, and she still is dealing with it, and they're checking to see if it's growing and this and that. But all that said is that sometimes bad things can happen just before you are ushered into that place where good things are happening. I mean, let's look at the good things that are happening in her life. She has freedom now. Now she has to, just get organized first and transition. Transition is so hard, but it is so necessary. Hey, who is that? Dom and Elaine, nice to see you. So I'm sure she's kind of fearful for the future. I'm sure she's kind of fearful for this newfound freedom. What does it mean? She just got to notice that her insurance is going to be canceled. It costs like $1,200 a month, and tax credits were bringing it down to $41, and yet, God is in control. He will take care of that. There's 4 things that had to happen in order for me to go on television, in order for me to do what I'm doing. Number 1, the finances had to be there. And 8 years ago, I was almost bankrupt. I almost lost my house. I almost lost my business. and I was in debt up to here. And today, all of that's been taken care of. Just 8 years later, imagine that. So all that worry was for naught, as they say. 90% of the things we worry about don't happen. So the advice I would give to my friend, don't worry. If my problems could be taken care of, so can yours. Mine are a lot harder than yours in some ways and a lot more difficult in other ways. So the first thing was finance. The second thing was my health. I had a herniated disc and I couldn't walk. I couldn't stand for more than 5 minutes. There was no way I could be at a book tour, traveling all across the country, chasing subways and buses and airport terminals, etc. And now I am. The third thing, my wife's support. Obviously, you can imagine when you're speech impaired and paralyzed on the right side, you're very self-centered. You know, it's, well, what about me? So my wife is very supportive now. I'm able to enjoy her support, and she's right there along my side. Hey, Harvey, how you doing? Hey, Ed. And so this is just like a perfect storm, all four things coming together. And none of this would be happening if it wasn't for God allowing these four things, which each one of them in themselves is a huge, mighty miracle. But to get four miracles come together, it's just proving that it's His will and it's my destiny. It's like He opens a door, go walk through it. So that's all I've been doing, since July. I've been walking through doors that have opened. And so don't fear failure. Don't fear success. Success is a good thing. And if the devil can somehow, in his twisted logic, talk you into worrying about success and good things that are coming, right? I mean, it's easy for him to have you worry about bad things. But when there's no bad things and there's good things only on the horizon, he's got to make you worry about that too. So what kind of twisted logic is that? Hang in there. Hey, Carol, how you doing? Just believe that whatever is needed for you to complete your destiny, it will be taken care of. God bless you, and I'll talk to you later.